Johnston, Member Thompson, Member Washinsky, and Member Martin present in addition to myself. So we do have a quorum. And we have the minutes of the May 19th special meeting of the Transportation Committee and the June 2nd regular meeting of the Transportation Committee. What is your preference?
I believe there was a motion by Wachinsky. I don't see a second though.
All right, a motion by Member Washinsky, seconded by Member Martin, that we approve the minutes of the May 19th special meeting and the June 2nd regular meeting. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. All right, we have the bills, and we have a letter from Michelle Anderson, the county auditor, saying that the claims are in good form and to comply with our regulations. Does anybody have any question with respect to the claims against the county? I guess I'm wondering where the purchase of right-of-way is. Jerry, can you illuminate us on that?
Sure. So that's our Meadows Road project that we have scheduled for 2022. And so Hutchison Engineering is working on the plans right now. And once they're done here at the end of the year, then we're going to start working on the right-of-way acquisition at that time. So what the bills that are in there are for the title searches for those properties.
Okay. Any other questions? All in favor, raise your hand.
I need a motion.
No. We have Member Martin moving to approve the.
And I think I had Member Wachinsky as a second.
Very well. All in favor, raise your hands. Opposed? The ayes have it. Do we have any public members or county employees that wish to be heard at this meeting?
No, we do not, Chairman.
Seeing none and hearing of none, we'll go ahead to departmental matters. And the first one is Linden Street Road. And what is your good pleasure with respect to this? Moved by Member Johnston. Seconded by Member Washinsky.
So this is a project we're going to do in 2021, and so this the MFT resolution lets us start design work on it as well as for the construction of it. We're using STR federal dollars, so we have to get things in IDOT a lot sooner. It'll be on the June letting for next year. This project, this road was last paved in 1998. And we applied for safety funds to put hot mix safety shoulders with rumble strips on this route as well.
Are there any questions? Member Johnston.
Thank you. The rumble strips, are they for like a stop sign or something, an intersection that people need to be aware of?
No, these will actually be on the edge of the road. You'll have the white stripe, and then you'll
Okay.
have an 8-inch rumble strip.
Okay.
And I think they're spaced like 60 feet, and then they have a gap, a 10-foot gap. And actually, the shoulders will be good. They'll be 4 foot wide, so they'll be able to accommodate the bicyclists that use this road a lot.
Okay. And then, like, what does that add to the cost of a road? Like, if you're gonna put the rumble strips on?
So the total cost was like $550,000, but we received like $508,000 from the Highway Safety Improvement Program, and so that pays basically 90% of that, and we had to pay 10%.
All right, thank you.
Further questions? All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, nay? The ayes have it. All right, next we have the motor fuel tax resolution for Meadows Road from Turkey Creek to Bridge to Route 24. And is this in Money Creek Township, or is this in Chenoa Township?
This is in Chenoa Township,
Okay.
and maybe like a mile in Lexington.
All right, moved by member Washingski, seconded by member Thompson, that we would request approval for a motor fuel tax resolution on improvement of the Meadows Road. And is there any discussion about this?
This was a project that Chairman Casey just alluded to in the bill. So this is this resolution allows us to start purchasing the right of way when we need to, and we need to get it in now so IDOT can also get it in their system because they have to do some environmental reviews. And so once the right of way plats are all purchased, and we'll start the right of way acquisition here in 2021. The construction isn't scheduled for 2022, but there's going to be a lot of preliminary work needs to be done with the right of way and moving the utilities in 21. And sometimes it takes it's quite a process. There's like 43 parcels that we need to buy right away from on this stretch of road. And so this is in this project, it's kind of one of the major roads that the Blooming Grove wind farm's using. And so we're just trying to stay on top of that. And once they're done, then we'll be able to complete this work.
Will we get some money from the wind farm to help pay for this project?
Yes, we will. It won't be entirely 100% of the project, but they'll be paying for the majority of the road cross section. But we're widening, we're purchasing additional right away to widen out the ditches and widen out the road overall, and they won't be responsible for that type of work. But anything with the road they will be.
Discussion? Anyone want to be heard on this? Very well. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nay. The ayes have it. All right, we'll go on then to Seminary Street in Downs. And we have 3 items with respect to that. And this is Seminary Street is the main drag in Downs. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. And they would like to do some things that are not traditionally found on county highways. So we propose to pay $600,000, is that?
That's correct.
To the Village of Downs, and they will agree to take this section of Seminary Street. And I think maybe it's the entire street from Franklin Street to Route 150. And it will become a village street if we approve this. Does anybody have any questions about it? All right, well, we'll take, I think we can take all 3 of these together. This would transfer the street from the county highway system to the Village of Downs. The Village of Downs would then be responsible for maintaining this street, and it would no longer be part of the county highway system. And there's one block that is in one county highway, and the rest of the project is in the northern part of it is in is another county highway. Does anybody have any questions for Jerry about this?
Jerry, in your history with the county, when we've deeded roads over to the cities or whoever, have we ever run into a problem where they've reneged or things went south and they wanted us to take it back?
Not
What's the advantage of, or what risks do we run into way down the road, I guess is my concern, unforeseen circumstances?
I've never, when we've done this in the past, we've never had any issues come back to us saying that we need to take it back. There is this is a little bit different because we're paying the money up front. A lot of times what we do when we do this type of transfers is we upgrade the road first and then transfer it over after the project's complete. We did that with Washington Street a number of years back. And we redid that, and we have, the Village of Downs has preferred that, the way the road is and it not being a county highway. With this transfer, Seminary Street allows them to basically do a lot of different things we wouldn't find on a county high road, like Chairman Casey was saying, and like raised sidewalks or curb bump outs. There's even talk about a roundabout or two here in this stretch. And so, with our equipment, that it just makes it we just can't maintain it at that time. And so that's kind of the basis behind this. Because they're looking to do the main 2 or 3 blocks of downtown Downs, but they also want to do some other things along the whole stretch of the road. So that's why we decided to work with the Village of Downs, and they wanted to take the whole entire thing. And they approved this at their board meeting on July 2nd. So it's been approved by the village as well.
Member Johnson.
I just wanted to make a motion so that we could open it up for discussion.
All right. Moved by Member Johnston that we approve the request for approval of jurisdiction transfer, a request for a resolution, and a request for an intergovernmental agreement to be entered into with the Village of Downs, which is already signed on to this agreement. Seconded by Member Waschinsky. Further questions? Does this include drainage, storm drainage in this project?
So our estimate for the 600,000 included curb and gutter, new storm sewer, and resurfacing for the whole stretch of the road.
All right, all in favor, say aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Then we have a request for approval of an ordinance and resolution reducing the speed limit to 45 miles per hour on 825 East Road out in White Oak Township. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this is the road upon which our fellow county board member resides.
That is correct. He does live south of this area about a mile.
It's a little bit east of Carlock, and it goes north from Route 150 and then curves around.
Yeah, Stark County Highway 12, the Hudson Carlock Road is right here on the north side, and then just south of here is Sunset Lake Road. And so we did a speed study in here and looked at the numbers and decided we could reduce the speed down to 45. There's just kind of a lot of the terrain on this road, as well as some of there's entrances to the residences, and also some side roads for the additional areas of the subdivision. So we felt this was a good area to reduce the speed limit. Basically from about right in here to County Highway 12. So it's about a half a mile stretch.
Have we had collisions out there?
No collisions, but the road commissioner has received some complaints about speeders and that along this stretch.
All right, what is your good pleasure? Moved by Member Johnston. Seconded by Member Thompson. Questions? Member Thompson.
So I assume that the road commissioner is in agreement with this based on your comments. Would that be correct?
It is, yes.
Thank you.
Further questions? Discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Then the next matter is approval of a road use agreement with Moraine Solar Power. You want to explain a little bit about this, Jerry?
Sure. So this is a solar farm that they're actually building in Downs Township off of one of the Downs Township roads. And so one of their special use permit requirements was to get a road use agreement with originally we just thought it was going to be the townships and didn't realize they were going to be coming on the county roads. But so they're going to be getting off the interstate at 74 at Downs, and then all their heavy traffic is going to come over on County Highway 36 towards our Gillum Road, and then go north on the Gillum Road to Route 150. And the Gillum Road was a road that we just upgraded to 80,000 pounds last year. And so basically this agreement just kind of all the roads are 80,000 pounds. So if they need to get overweight vehicles in there, they're just gonna have to go through our normal permit process. But the agreement just kind of covers any additional damage that may be done. I'm not anticipating any at all on this route because they're both good roads. But just kind of lets us move forward and still have something in place. And it pays us a little bit of administration fee for monitoring the roads while they're building a solar farm. And then they'll also have to get a road use agreement with Downs Township as well for this project. And we're kind of working through that with them on this.
All right, move, Member Thompson. Move that we approve the road use agreement with Moraine Solar Power. Seconded by Member Johnston. Questions? Discussion? All right, all in favor? Raise your right hand. And opposed? All right, the ayes have it. All right, we have one additional, I believe, replacement employee. Is that right, Jerry?
That's correct. We did hire a new truck driver laborer for a position we had vacant.
Are we now at full staff then?
But we are at full staff on our maintenance department. We're still one short in the office, and a civil engineer in the office, but our maintenance staff is fully staffed.
All right. Any questions about the additional employee or replacement employee? Member Johnston?
Not so much about the new employee, but as far as the engineer, where are we advertising for that anywhere? Are we pushing for that? Because I know that's been open for a little while.
Right. We had it open earlier, like right after the first of the year, and then we thought we had a candidate, but they took another job, and so then we advertised it again, and it's still advertised, but we haven't. We've only received actually like 3 or 4 candidates total. So.
But where do we advertise? Like, do we put it on like Indeed? Where do we put it?
We put it on our website, and then we put it usually in the local papers for a weekend or 2. And then I think one of those papers actually puts it on Indeed or jobs.com, or I think it's part of the fee.
Okay.
Further questions? All right. We'll go on to project summaries, starting out with Ridley Road.
So this is the resurfacing project that we did from Route 24 to the Livingston County line, and hopefully you can kind of see these pictures. So this is right at 24 looking north. We redid the curb and gutter for about 1,000 feet going north to the railroad tracks, and so we still got to go up there and fill in some behind the curb and that type of thing. So here's just a couple more pictures in the middle of the project for the curb. This is an entrance into the waterworks plant that's right there on the corner of 24 at our road. And so we improved the drainage and approach to their parking or to their area. You can see there on the left, this is their right in here. They built a parking lot, a brand new parking lot. So actually kind of at the same time this project was going on. So we were able to tie the grades in for their new driveway into this. So we got to come back and stripe it and then and put reflectors down. And so that's the remaining things we got to do on this project. And there's just another project or another picture looking north. And it's just a typical surface, 24 foot wide or 22 foot wide going north to the Livingston County line then. And so like I said, the only thing left on this project is the reflectors. The next project is
This is the project upon which we had a fatal accident, isn't it?
It is, yeah. The Ridley Road was where we had the fatal accident during the construction.
All right, go ahead.
So the next project on the list is Colfax Western Road. I don't have any pictures of that one, but that's been completed. We got a little bit of guardrail work to do. They got to come in and repair something, but that project turned out really good, and so we're done with that. The next projects haven't really kicked off yet, but the Ron Smith Memorial Highway up around Lake Bloomington, that is starting today. The contractor is going to get in there and they're going to start milling off the existing surface. And then later on in the week, we're going to do the 3-foot widening of the road. And then towards the middle of the month, then we'll come in and do the cold in place recycle where they add oil and till up the road and then lay it all back out. So there'll be a lot of work happening up there in the next 2-3 weeks.
There's already been a lot of work though on culverts up there, hasn't there?
Yes. So the county highway department's day labor, they replaced all the culverts down through there, and then they also went in and added some dirt to the front slopes to accommodate the 3-foot widening that we have to do.
All right.
And then the next project is the Park Culvert on Pipeline Road, just north of Zeebarth. This project, they just closed the road down yesterday, and so they're gonna we're gonna take down the guardrail today, and then they're gonna start working on it either today or tomorrow. Start excavating out the culvert, and this is the precast quadruple concrete box culvert that's going in here. So this road is actually gonna be closed probably for 3 months or better, 3.5 months by the time for this project to be completed.
All right, and then Division Street in Chenoa.
So yeah, so this is another project we're doing in town Chenoa, and this is kind of similar to Downs. We're doing the project, all the work up front, and then the city of Chenoa is going to take the road over after we're completed. The contractor has most of all the pavement removed. We're actually kind of waiting on the NICOR, the utility company, to move. They had some gas services they have to hook up, and so in order to do that, they have to go into people's houses. So we're kind of at a standstill, and there's on Saturday they're supposed to come and go into those remaining houses and hook up those services, so then we can change out the old main, because that's kind of holding things up because we need to put our storm sewer system in, but we have to wait till NICOR is out of the way in order to do that.
Any questions?
So I do have more projects. It's not on a list. It's not a county project, but it's the Dale Township project. That's was our last timber pile bridge. And so since I haven't shown pictures of it, I got basically pictures from back in May when it was all flooded out to kind of where we're at today. So I'll kind of go through these quick, but so this is a project. So this was May 1st when we had like 4 inches of rain out there. So you can see it's almost flooded. We did have some of the piling that were driven for the bridge, but we didn't have them all in place. And so there's just another picture. You kind of see the piling sticking out of the ground there for the piers. And so like I said, this was May 1st. And then this was a few days later on May 4th, this picture was taken. So the water's gone down considerably, but there's still quite a bit of water running through there. So they were actually, between all the rains, I think they were almost shut down 2 weeks, I think, for when this was during the early spring. Just a few more projects. And so then here's the project after they got all the piling driven, they got the piling concrete encased, and then they started the form work for the actual bridge itself. And so this is the forms. They attached it to the piers and the abutments, and then they formed the deck on top of those forms. And then so still more forming pictures. And then once they get most of it formed up, then they start with all the rebar that gets installed. And so it takes them like 3 days to put all the rebar in. And then this was the day that they poured it, which I think was on June 24th. They poured the deck. And so these are just some pictures of that. The big long thing, that's a pump truck. So all the concrete goes through the pump truck and then gets put out on the bridge. And so we test the concrete right when the trucks arrive, and then we also test the concrete when it goes out on the deck after it goes through the pump truck. So we do double tests to make sure that it doesn't it's still up to strength. Here's some more pictures of the pour when they were almost completed. That machine on top of the deck is called a bidwell machine, and they form that up, and they got the rails there on the sides for that thing to run, and then it helps. It's got an apparatus underneath there to smooth the concrete out. Kind of acts like a screed going across there. Just a few more pictures of the deck. And then you can see on the back that they cover the deck up, and then they soak it with water, so it doesn't dry out. And so these pictures were taken yesterday. So they took most of the forms off, and they started stripping it. And so now they're working on the approach pad pavement. So here on the right, they poured some concrete, and that's called a sleeper pad. It acts as a kind of a footing between the road and the approach pavement. And then here in this gravel area, they will put the approach pad. So they'll form all this up around here and put rebar in here and pour concrete on that. So they're talking about pouring the concrete on Friday at 4 a.m. so they can beat the heat and get it put down, so they're not fighting temperatures all day long. So that'll be a long day on Friday. And so that's all the pictures I have on that project. So it's moving along at a good clip once we got dry weather.
With respect to the Shanoa project, will that be done before the start of school?
It's going to be close. The section that's right in front of the school should be done, and that we may not have all the paving completed, but it's going to be close.
Does anybody have any questions? Discussion?
Jerry, I don't think we do, but we aren't going to have any county roads closed down this fall prior to fall harvest, are we? I don't see anything on the future for that. I just double checking.
No, the only one that might be is that the park culvert that I just mentioned. The completion date on that's October 1st, but it's really close to town, so I don't know if that's really going to affect harvest as much. No, there shouldn't be anything affecting the harvest. We are going to do a bridge on County Highway 36, but that's going to be done here before September. So we're going to redo the deck on that, but other than, I don't see anything that's going to be any issues.
Further questions? Discussion? Perhaps we can go out in September and look at some of these projects. We generally do take a field trip, and I think maybe September would be a good time to go out and see what some of these completed projects look like. All right, we do have a list of pieces of equipment, which
Chairman Kaisley, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Member Johnston wanted to speak.
oh, excuse me, Member Johnson.
I just wanted to get a chance to speak before we wrap up, kind of in our other business section. So
Okay,
just wanted to catch you before you rush off to end the meeting.
all right, go ahead.
No, it was just regarding returning to in-person meetings next month. As the chairman of the meeting, I was curious as to what your position was, but we can save that if you want to finish like paying the bills and whatnot first.
Well, we have already dealt with the bills, but
Okay.
I don't know. Is this Camille? Is this the last meeting virtually?
It's my understanding, Chairman Kaisley and Member Johnston, that Chairman McIntyre intends to facilitate a discussion about this at Executive Committee.
Okay.
So that's truly as much as I can tell at this point. But I know that that's his intention for a point of discussion. Not certain if action items would be needed, but at least to bring up the subject at that time.
Okay. Okay. My biggest concern is that I want to make sure that we get the opportunity as a committee to discuss amongst ourselves what we would like for safety precautions. I know that, Chairman Barnett for property has kind of issued his own expectations for the meeting, and I wanted to have that discussion here if we do return to in-person next month.
I would prefer that we didn't meet in person next month because I'm going to be on the beach over in Michigan. But I could attend virtually. But anyway, that's one person. And Member Martin is certainly capable of going ahead with the meeting. All right, further questions or comments? The equipment, we had quite a few things that came in over the estimated price, but we had some that were under and some that are not going to be purchased. So I don't know if you have questions about that.
Yeah, I'll just follow up a little bit on that. So some of our big items, the tandem trucks are supposed to be here in August. They did get ordered in May. The paint truck, which was a big purchase this year, it is supposed to be arriving by the end of the month. So that's good. We already have received our new loader as well. The couple other trucks that we were looking at was on a state contract, and for some reason the state didn't award the contracts. So we're kind of looking at going plan B where we're doing something local, and then as well as pushing a couple things off to 2021. But with that being said, when I was actually putting the budget together for 2021 and was thinking that we could move a couple things from 21 and try to get to purchase those in 2020. I mean, they weren't originally on this list, and a couple things I was thinking of was we need a new dump trailer for riprap, and that ours is from 1976, so it's fairly old and starting to rust out. And then I was also considering
Fully depreciated?
What was that?
It's fully depreciated?
I believe so.
Okay.
I think it's past its useful life. And then something else I was looking at getting next year was a skid loader that, we don't typically have one right now. And so we typically use a backhoe bucket for everything we do, where a skid loader would be nice to go in if we're especially working like in Gridley where we're working behind curb or having to get in a tight spot. So those were a couple things I was thinking about moving here and looking to purchase in 2020. And it wasn't necessarily on the list, but then we could change some things around for 2021. So I just kind of wanted to get kind of your blessing, I guess, to move forward with that, or if you had any concerns with it.
All right, thank you. Are there any further comments with respect to the equipment? Seeing none, then.
Thompson does.
Oh, yes, Member Thompson, excuse me.
No problem. So Jerry, would these be with the additions still within our budgeted limit or numbers, or I'm assuming that would be the case.
Yes, they would still be in with the numbers. We've spent about 837,000 actual to date, and so we still have about over 110,000 to spend left in that line item for 2020. Based on moving things around. One of the main things was we were looking at, last year, if you remember, we had our sign truck has a crane boom on it, and that's where we had our fatality on our county employee. And so we were looking at just replacing the boom, but that sign truck has 100,000 miles on it and gets used about every day. So we're just going to look at in 2021 replacing the whole entire truck with a new crane and making it remote at that time.
Further questions? All right, we are adjourned then.
I do have,
Oh, excuse me. Go ahead.
you are right, he does get away quickly, doesn't he? Two questions on I had received some complaints from the wind farm project, road trucks and stuff. Have we had any cooperation from them on slowing down watering, or have you heard any more information on that? This has been probably a month ago by now.
So they have been, I know they had 3 water trucks going all weekend. We have our weekly meeting scheduled for tomorrow, and we're going to address these issues. I have not heard anything from any of the road commissioners over the last month about dust. I know there's been a couple issues, but we're trying to work with the developer and work on coming up with a better solution moving forward.
So I know we're working on it, but are they, is my question.
That's
We're reluctant to make concessions to help out. I guess, has their attitude changed?
I don't know. I wouldn't say their attitude's changed.
That's unfortunate. And secondly, are we still on target for for the project up at Sabre? Moving the culvert.
Yeah, there's been a couple of modifications. We've been talking to landowners and that, but it's still going to get done here in the next month or two. When we're going to run, we actually have our high ho rented, and it's going to get taken care of.
Okay, thank you.
Gerald, Chairman
Member
McIntyre and I are also concerned about the Chinoa Wind Project and that. So I'm going to take a tour this morning and just drive around incognito up there. So if anybody has any questions or concerns while I'm up there driving around looking it over, reach out to me on my cell phone, and I can give you a report. But yeah, I'm also concerned about the issues that the people are up there having, and I don't know, maybe we'll learn something this morning.
Along that line, Member Frederick, Member Thompson, and I, together with Jerry and Luke from the Highway Department, did meet with a group of farmers out in Cheney's Grove Township about a drainage problem out there, and that is currently under study by the Highway Department. So if anybody has any questions about that, we'd be happy to try and answer them. All right, thank you very much, and we are adjourned then.